Hi guys, it's Kira, and today I was gonna put together a new build. And by new build, I mean making my current build more modular. So I've got a rack here, and I purchased this rack from Home Depot. And I intend to put all of my hard drives, and motherboard, power supply, everything is gonna go on this rack. And actually, here's the box right here. I bought this from Home Depot, so this is just generic from China, so you should be able to find it wherever. But it's a pretty solid rack. It was pretty cheap, and I think I can make it work. I bought a computer case and was expecting to have to use a computer case to make this come together, but after looking at it, I was able to come up with a way to do it without the case, which is great because the case is ugly. It was only a $40 case. So if we take a look at what I've got here, you'll see that I've got the motherboard basically right on the rack. And I wasn't expecting to be able to do this, but actually I found some cool little things. So I don't know if you can see in the camera too well, but there are, let's see, there's these little plastic things. And there were 6 of these, and they came with the rack actually. And on certain parts of this rack, they actually fit well, perfectly over the metal grate. And actually they're perfect. So I think I can just go basically directly on here. And there's a pretty good amount of space in between the board and the rack, so I'm not too concerned about shorts or anything like that. It's quite a bit further than what you would find in a regular computer case. So I think this will do good. So that's the first part. I've got my power supply. I've got my SSD, which I've just reused over the years. So top part will be the computer. And of course we've got our Sonet Allegro cards, and these will be put into our PCIe slots here, and they'll give us a lot of bandwidth. So I've got 2 of these, and then on the second level is hard drives. So here's one of them, and I've got a whole bunch of these. I'll show you guys a picture. And basically second level will be all hard drives, and you can see through. I'm going to space them out so that the heat doesn't build up too bad, and they'll have lots of room to breathe. And so that's what I'm going to be working on this video. And the next video, this is going to be a 2-part, is so I made a couple videos about the power supplies for the external hard drives and how I was optimizing that. And I determined that there's got to be a better way. And rather than soldering together wires where the gauge is questionable and they're melting, I went with a power supply unit that I found on eBay for $65. It should be able to power most of my hard drives with one unit. And again, I'm trying to go for a modular build here, so if I can fit 32 hard drives on this rack, then I'm going to probably shoot for 2 power supplies to power all of those drives. But we're not there yet. And the power supply unit for the hard drives hasn't arrived yet. It's coming tomorrow, and I'll post an update video on that when we get that plugged in here. Today, we're just going to put this together and do a proof of concept and see where we go. So without further ado, I'm going to get started here, and I will fast forward through, and we'll go from there. putting together the main parts of this system, and I'll go ahead and see if we can power this on. I just got this monitor sitting here, and we're just going to make sure that we can post. So of course there's no power switch, so I'm going to use scissors, and we're just going to find the power jumper. I forgot where it was. Let's hope it's not on the other side of the board. Oh, here it is. Okay. Hey, it's working. And let's see if we get a screen. This already has an operating system on it, so I think it'll boot. Maybe? We'll see. And so this currently has Windows 7 on it, but I'm a little concerned about Windows 7 supporting a massive number of PCI lanes with all that data. So I don't know. We will see. I'll leave Windows 7 on here, and we'll see how that goes. But if it fails, I'm just going to wipe it, put Windows 10 on here. I don't like Windows 10, but it is a new operating system. It does have better support. So we'll see how that goes. So while I was putting in the PCI Express cards, I noticed that they weren't sitting properly. The rack was just underneath the little peg that was sticking out at the bottom, and I decided to shift it around a little bit to reposition it. And it worked out pretty good, but yeah, I had to redo a couple of things. I got things pretty much configured here. You guys probably noticed that I used some twisty ties to get the motherboard secured on the case. And these are just temporary. These are because the zip ties that I bought are a little too wide to go through the hole in the motherboard, and I didn't take that into consideration. Anyways, cards are sitting pretty well. They're pretty tight considering that they don't have any support on the top, but I will reinforce this with maybe a strip of metal or something to support cards. This particular build will probably see more USB cards. This is just a proof of concept. Kind of a serious proof of concept. I think I already know what's going to happen here. But let's go ahead and power it on one more time. And let's see if it pulls up these cards. So scissor method. And let's see what we got. I'm hoping I can just recognize these cards out of the box, because the box didn't have any CD-ROM or anything like that. And even if it did have a CD-ROM, there's no CD-ROM drive. Let's see what happens. Installing device driver. It's going. I hope it's going. We might have to go on the intertubes and get the driver. Installed successfully. Let's go ahead and check our device manager and see. We got an unknown device there. I don't like that. I do see 8 USB 3 root hubs. That is a really good sign. I really like this. Okay, that's awesome. If it's gonna work just out of the box, that's fine with me. So after connecting the hard drives and also getting the USBs all set up and getting the miner configured, we can see we're actually mining, and the speed is pretty good. I'm a little concerned that the CPU may not be processing things fast enough. I'm seeing a high number here, and it only was pulling 100 megabytes a second through the hard drives. So I'm not really sure where the bottleneck is. And 100 is pretty good, but I don't want this to be an issue down the road, so I'm going to be doing some more research on that. I think overall this build should work just fine. Might take some tinkering, but overall pretty happy with it. Didn't really run into any problems with the setup, so we'll see how this goes. And this is only the first step. I've got, like I said, I need to add the power supplies to the system, to the rack, make it look cool. And the other thing that I need to do is move the hard drives from my current miner over to this new miner and get them set up. And that's going to take some time, and also I don't want to do it in a way where it's eating into my profits. So, you know, I'd like to keep things running as much as possible. So again, mining Burst. Burst is pretty cool, so I hope you guys will check it out if you're not already in the Burst community. Hard drive mining is the revolution, maybe, we'll see. But I do think it's cool. So anyways, thanks for watching, everyone, and if you like this video, like it and subscribe. And if you've got any feedback or questions, or you want clarifications on something, let me know, and I'll try to include it in another video or respond, you know, etc. So anyways, thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time.